The Switch 2 has a massive problem that I think no one's talking about or people don't realize. Let's dive on into it, shall we? Also, this thing has a good amount of weight to it. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The Switch 2 is here. I was actually the first person in line at my GameStop to get one, so I came out and everyone's like, "The first one, yeah!" And I was like, "Scalp it for $1,000." But this thing is really cool, and I actually haven't used it in handheld mode, but this is the back of it. It took me like an hour to set up because I think my dumbass had left some random cord for like my PS5 that you can see above me here on my bed. So like I couldn't get the AC adapter to work, and it's because I'm stupid. But something I want to talk about with the Switch 2. First of all, let's get the good things out of the way. This feels like a premium device, right? As you see my beautiful reflection. When you compare it to the Switch 1, the Switch original feels like a toy. And this feels more like a Steam Deck. And even, God, just looking at this, it's so much larger on my desk. But I want to talk about a big flaw that this has that I'm realizing now that I am playing Mario Kart World, which the bundle doesn't come with a physical game. It comes with a digital download. Something I want to talk about more for like the history when people look back on this console years later. When the midnight release happened and I got my console set up, I could not play Mario Kart World because it had technically not released yet because Nintendo goes by Pacific Standard Time. So if you buy a game digitally and it hits midnight in your area, you cannot play it until 3 o'clock in the morning Eastern Time if you're on the East Coast because they go by Pacific Time. Because then technically at that point, everybody has access to the game at the same time. I don't know how I feel about this because if you're going to buy a game digitally, you're getting kind of screwed because who's going to stay up until 3 o'clock in the morning to play a fucking game? It could be Metroid Prime Electric Boogaloo, 10 out of 10, would recommend, and ain't nobody staying up until 3 o'clock in the morning, especially if they got to work the next day, right? So that's kind of an issue. I really don't know how I feel about it. The Switch 2, basically, the biggest point here of the flaw is that as great of the console as it is, the price tag is whatever, right? At the end of the day, you can choose whether or not to pay that or wait till a sale. Mario Kart World is essentially the only launch title. And you might be thinking, well, Avery, they've got all these other games that came out on day one. Yeah, who the fuck is paying $9.99 for a game that is a tech demo to show off your Switch 2? Maybe it sold well because of, mega fans. Maybe it didn't. No one's paying for that, at least in my neck of the woods. On top of that, a bunch of the launch games were just $10 upgrades for games that have been out for years. Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, whatever. So the only home run game is Mario Kart World. Mario Kart World is very barren. As big of a world that it is, it's not bad. If you like Mario Kart, it's more Mario Kart. But the free roam, as they call it, it's really barren. There's not much there. You've got these little power-up blocks that you can drive over to like do these like little mini challenges that give you, stickers, or they give you outfits or whatever. But it's kind of just an add-on. There's not really anything there. There's no campaign. There's no story mode per se. It's basically just Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, if you want the best version, with a free roam mode where like you can practice tricks, you can use different carts, you can do like little mini challenges if you want to do like collectathons and shit, like and collect all the stickers and whatever. But if you don't care about that, it's basically just, spoiler alert for unlockables and stuff. It's basically just go through all of the cups, do 50cc, unlock special cup, you get Rainbow Road, which Rainbow Road is amazing in this game. You do that, and then you go through and do 100 and 150cc, and I'm assuming that 200cc unlocks after you do 150cc on all the cups. Okay? And I'm sure some people are going to say, well, I play Mario Kart for the online, and that's cool, but if you don't really care to play online, okay, maybe you could argue that, okay, you shouldn't be buying Mario Kart, but if you got a Switch 2 at launch and you don't want to play Mario Kart, what the fuck are you playing? You're playing a game that you've already played in Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, or you wasted your money and paid an extra $9.99 for a dog shit tech demo game. It's not there. Like, I think if you could not get a Switch 2 at launch, now that I've gotten my hands on it, I think if you couldn't get a Switch 2 at launch, you're fine. There is really no home run hitting game, I would argue, until Metroid Prime 4. Or if you have a back catalog of Switch games that you want to play, go play those because they're compatible on the Switch too, which is great. And that is one thing that I will give Nintendo credit for, right? Is that they have made basically the entire backlog of Switch games playable on the Switch 2. And I think that that's awesome because you get a bigger screen, you get the 4K resolution, you can pay $10 for the upgrade if you really want to waste that. But to me, it's like, if it's playable, it's fine, you know, unless like there are glaring issues. Like, I think if someone gave me $10, because I wouldn't spend my own damn money on this crap. If someone gave me $10 and said, go use this on an upgrade for a Switch game, I would do it on Breath of the Wild. Because Tears of the Kingdom didn't have the frame drop issues, at least that I noticed, as much as Breath of the Wild. Specifically when you went into like where the Deku Tree was and shit. So I would use it on that because that feels like the most premium experience. Maybe there's some things that you could do with like trading it into GameStop to get money off so that you can get the Switch 2 version, but I wouldn't even fool with that. Overall, if I have to give my first impressions on this, again, this feels like a premium product. It's got weight to it. It's heavy, pause, and it feels great to use. The magnets on the Switch, I was wondering how to get these off. I don't know if you can see it, but there is a little flip right here that you pull this back and it comes off. And then it just magnetizes back on. Kind of hard to get on, but that feels really, really good. And actually, I think there's one. No, that's the stand. I was feeling something down here. But it feels good. It doesn't feel like a crap product. Now, if you're wondering about Joy-Con drift, they still have Joy-Con drift. That has not changed. I watched someone do a breakdown of one of the Joy-Con controllers. The design of the Joy-Cons themselves are exactly the same. They just have a different form factor in the sense of now they use magnets. So you're still going to get stick drift. That's a thing, right? I don't know what to tell you. If you were expecting them to fix Joy-Con drift, I guess, but they have not fixed it. It's the exact same design. They don't give a shit. Because why when they can cut corners and make a good amount of money? So that's going to be here to stay. I've got a Pro controller that works for the most part, even though I think one of the C sticks or whatever is busted on it. I may or may not have dropped the controller by accident or on purpose, besides the point. But it's a good console. Everything is running great. The eShop does not feel like it's running at 5 frames a second, which is great. But I'm really waiting more for those games that are going to push the hardware to its limits, like Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon Legends ZA. Those are the two main games right now that I think are really going to be home run hitters where it's like, you need to get a Switch 2 for these games. Because it's going to probably be a slideshow on the original Switch. You know, the original Switch is what, almost 10 years old now? You got to get that hardware upgrade. Trade in your Switch. There's no reason to keep it unless you have a sibling or a family member who wants your original crap Switch. Like, okay, sure, little Timmy, here, have my original Switch. It's a pile of dog shit. I've got the Switch 2 now. But if you don't, if you're an only child like me, go trade your shit in. Get some money off. Put it towards Legends ZA, Metroid Prime 4, whatever the case may be. And just have a good old time with it. So overall, Switch 2 is good. I don't think you really need to invest in it right now. There's plenty of other stuff out there that you could be putting it into while you save your money to get a Switch 2. Maybe there's a Metroid bundle that comes out, and then you can save money on Metroid Prime 4 because most of the games are $80 fucking dollars. So it is what it is. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.